I may have just found another penny stock that I think has at least 4x potential in 2021. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove that fact. And today we are speaking about Acer Therapeutics, okay? Ticker symbol is ACER. And essentially they are developing therapies for patients with serious, rare and life-threatening diseases. Things such as the Roni, urea cycle disorders, maple syrup urine disease, and a few other bits and pieces in there as well. So this is a stock that's currently trading at $2.58 a share. It is NASDAQ listed, and it has a market cap of 31.7 million. There is an average analyst price target of $10 a share right now. Roth Capital has a $10 share on there. It's not Craig Irwin. There are many publications on everything they're working on right here. Institutional ownership comes in at 15.64%. And you will actually see that a lot of these institutions were buying it when it was at a much higher price. You'll see that later on in the video. Insider ownership is at nearly 20%. And you can see that quite a few bought shares back in the third quarter of 2020, so very recently, and a lot of these shares were bought at $3.50 per share. So the CEO has confidence in this company, which is something you always love to see. Now, before we do get into it, I do want to remind you guys, we are speaking about a penny stock, and also this one has a $31 million market cap. I do believe there's going to be quite a bit of short-term volatility here, and it does have quite considerable up and down swings, especially if you look over the last 6 months or a yearly chart. It's had its fair share. So I'm most certainly not saying this is the safest company to invest in this year by any means. It's not whatsoever. But the last time I spoke about a penny stock that I believe had big potential in 2021, it was actually OEG, and I spoke on these guys when they were at $1.48 a share, so they're already up over 200% in a span of about 3 weeks. Now, of course, that's not going to happen every time. I'm not a genius, and I will admit I had more conviction in OEG at 148 than I potentially do in ACER at 250. But I do believe there is a whole lot of upside potential here. I want to make it clear that as of recording this video, I don't own a position in the company. If I do, I will leave it in the comment section down below, because there is a chance I buy these guys today. I'm going to do a little bit more research. But I do think there will be some good swing trade opportunities here, and also a lot of long-term potential. So right before we do get into the video, my friends, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the company, especially if you are already invested. I'm interested in hearing from you. And please, my friend, if you are indeed new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family of investors, baby. What are you waiting for? And if you are interested in joining my private Discord group, that's the first link in the description, baby. You'll find out that I'm looking at companies like this before it makes it to YouTube. We have a really good track record in January. I mean, we're not just eating bread, we eating baguettes, baby. We're at over 1,100 members. We got 500 this month so far. We're blowing up, baby. But it's an awesome community. So many smart people in there. So much information gets traded every single day. And if you want 4 free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description. You have to sign up, deposit $100. Then you get your free money. 2 of those shares can be worth $3,700. It's that easy. So here's the stock. Now again, when we speak about penny stocks, I really like to reaffirm they're much higher risk than what we generally play on this channel. If I am to get involved, I will have tight stop losses set around the 10 to 20% mark. I want to show you guys the 1 year chart so we can see that the Roni actually did affect these guys quite heavily. They were on a really nice run up, and bang, they got smashed down close to 80%. So they got brought down all the way to 118 at their lows, okay? And then they went on this really nice recovery, peaking out, where are we? Up about 358%, all the way up at 541. So you can see that over the last 12 months, on 2 separate occasions, this company's been worth well over $5 a share. We're currently trading at $2.58 after a very prolonged period of somewhat consolidation, a very steady downtrend as well. Why do I think that's going to change soon? We'll get into that, of course, my friends. And again, it only has a $31 million market cap. And remember that insiders own about 20% of the company and institutions own over 15%. So that just makes it even more volatile at such a small market cap. Now, these guys do have a very good investor presentation. And if you are going to contemplate investing in these guys, I highly recommend you go and read through this in full. I'm not going to do so because there is a lot of technicalities in here. I'm just going to give you guys what I think you need to understand for the basics. So they're a pharmaceutical company that acquires, develops, and seeks to commercialize therapies for serious, rare, and life-threatening diseases with significant unmet medical needs. That's what we see from a lot of these biopharma-related companies, especially these penny stocks. And that's why they're so lucrative, because I'm going to be straight with you guys. So many of these are going to be worth less than they are now in 12 months' time. But a select few are going to be worth a lot more. Now, they have cash of $6.2 million as of September 30th, okay? Combined with an additional $1 million of proceeds subsequently received from ATM stock sales and Lincoln Park stock purchase agreement, they're expected to have sufficient capital to fund current operations into Q1 2021. That's right now. That's the first red flag you should see. But that is excluding support for the planned M18 phase 2 or 3 clinical trial, which we'll get into. Now, I would like to bring you guys over to their 10Q, which came out September 30th. And yeah, their cash and equivalents are right there. They also have goodwill assets valued up to over $7.5 million, okay? So we are looking at total assets of 15.36 million. We have total liabilities of less than 5 million. It's not often that you see a penny stock with an asset to liability ratio like this. So although they're saying they may only have cash through Q1, I think they're going to be okay, and I think they will find it quite easy to raise capital if necessary, and I think they could do so through other means as opposed to just a direct offering. But of course, if this is to go up very sharply in price, I would expect something like that to happen. But I mean, the asset to liability is absolutely fantastic, and you'll see it's from accounts payable, accrued expenses, and other current liabilities. That's only at 621k. It looks nice, guys. We have an awesome leadership team. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into all of these in depth, but look, they have a lot of experience between them. They've worked at a lot of big names. So some of the investment highlights. Their pipeline includes 4 programs, okay? M18 for the treatment of the Roni. Acer 001, a taste-masked immediate release formulation of sodium phenylbutyrate. There is a big focus on this one right now. Back in December 2020, okay, they completed enrollment for this particular solution for urea cycle disorders. They announced full enrollment of 36 subjects in its pivotal trial evaluating the bioequivalence of Acer 001 versus Hyliion Therapeutics Buphanyl for the treatment of UCDs. And the results from that trial are expected Q1 2021. Upon successful completion of the ongoing development, the company intends to submit a request to FDA for pre-NDA meeting on Acer 001. So this is the kind of thing that this company is going to have coming constantly in my opinion this year. And what I would also like to show you in regards to the 4 products in their pipeline, look at these publications. There is so many genuine studies going on. Of course, you can read through them all. I have through quite a few of them. They're complicated, but once you spend a bit of time on them, you get the gist of them. Then we have Etsivo for the treatment of vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome in patients with a confirmed type 3 collagen mutation, and Ocentent for treatment of induced vasomotor symptoms. So multiple anticipated key milestones. Of course, what we want to know, especially if you're going in on these guys long, okay, if you're swing trading, it might not be as important, but if you're going in long, in the last quarter of 2020, okay, you can see efficiency study results for the M18, Adviso request FDA meeting to discuss confirmatory evidence plan. Here's a few important ones. Q1 2021, Acer 001 BE Fed trial completion, coming soon. Mid first half 2021, Acer 001 pre-NDA meeting with the FDA, what we just spoke about. And then Q2, you can see we have quite a few things going on as well. There's a lot happening this year, specifically the first quarter and first half of this year. Now, this is their clinical pipeline, okay? One thing to understand, because I think this could be one of the most important things for this company right now, their Roni, it's at a preclinical stage. Now, initiation of phase 2 or 3 trial subject to successful IND submission and clearance and sufficient capital resources to fund the program. So I think this is a very exciting one, but it's not even a guarantee at this stage, so do be aware of that. But if this one's to go well, it's going to be fantastic for the company. You see, their Acer 001s, okay? One is in phase 3, and the maple syrup urine disease is in phase 1. Same goes for Etsivo, that's in phase 3. And then we have Ocentent, which is in preclinical as well. But I do really think this is one we have to keep a very close eye on, and we should be getting an update on it in Q1, along with the Acer 001. And in order to understand why it's so important, we're going to have a look at the M18 overview. So again, I know there's a lot going on, but this is the program in regards to Roni. So it's a global pandemic with no currently approved therapeutic options for Roni outpatients. It's highly contagious and spread via respiratory droplets, direct contact, and if aerolized, airborne routes. So the mechanism of the action they want to take, host targeting therapy with potent antiviral activity, okay? So it restores cellular stress response, inhibiting viral replication, and believed to be the only drug in development exploiting this MOA. It's a new way of attacking the Roni, my friends. And if all goes well here, this could be absolutely huge. I mean, forget about 4x, it could go up much more than that. Now again, that's not me saying it will. I fully acknowledge the fact this could continue its downward trend. The opportunity, okay? Ongoing discussions with FDA following pre-IND feedback, targeting IND submission and phase 2 or 3 trial in the first half of 2021. Now again, in my personal opinion, this and the Acer 001 is the most important things to this company right now. So you could be holding this one for a while until we get some real news. That's one thing you have to be aware of. But as more people find out about it, I do think there's going to be more long-term holders in here. So here we're looking at the broad and potent antiviral activity. Clinically, M18 has been used to treat approximately 700 patients with viral hepatitis and varicella zoster virus. I don't know what that is, but they're treating them anyway. And they say here it's uniquely suited for the Rona in particular. Now guys, if anybody knows how to read these things, you let me know. I don't, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. But clinical experience with parental emetine, 600 plus patients with viral hepatitis treated, and 90 patients with herpes zoster treated. Now what's the safety of emetine? Patients treated with 1 mg per kg per day, daily via SC injections for 10 days, did not experience any notable toxicity. There were some abnormalities observed, but not often associated with significant cardiac symptoms. Now at higher cumulative doses, there have been some very bad things reported. So of course that's why it cannot just be rolled out on the spot, and this is the biggest risk we have here. Now here's the proposed clinical trial, okay? Part A, 45 patients, Part B, 105, and Part C, 300. Endpoints, clinical endpoints, rate of hospitalization or mortality, viral load and shedding assessments, and laboratory endpoints. And the doses they're saying is Arm 1, a single dose at 120 mg by 1 day, and Arm 2, multiple dose 30 mg by 4 days. So you can see here, these are very, very controlled doses, and we can assume by what we have in the past, by the publications we've seen in the past, this won't cause any abnormalities. Now you can continue to read this investor presentation if you want to find out about absolutely all of their products, of course. It's a lot easier to learn about them here, though it's not easy than it is when you go read through all of the publications. So again, if you do plan on investing for the long term, do familiarize yourself with all of these products. But I like what I'm seeing, guys. I really do. I like the latest quarterly report we have. I like the pipeline that we have. I like that there's a lot of upcoming catalysts in the first quarter and first half of this year. I like that insiders own about 20% of the company and they were willing to buy hundreds and thousands of shares back at $3.50 a share. I like that the short interest is very low, down 16.38% month over month. The short volume's at 416,000 shares. The float is at 7.48 million shares. There's not a lot of short interest at all. And the volume has been going up very quickly as of late as more people find out about them. So for me, I see a company that has a lot of short-term potential, but also does have a lot of, you know, long-term potential if things go right. And please remember that if, my friends. Again, I don't have as much confidence in these guys at $2.50 a share as I did in OEG at $1.48 a share, but I do still have quite a bit of confidence. And then you look at the analyst. Okay, we have 1 hold rating and 2 buy ratings with a consensus price target of $10 a share, which represents an upside of 287.6%, my friends. Now, one thing I would like to point out, okay, because we can't just take that as it is. If you go back and look at their price targets before, they were way higher. There was 50s, 60s, there was some 49s, etc. It's always been more than 100% above where the stock price is right now. And you can see that as the stock price has steadily came down, so has the analyst price targets. But I do find it interesting that even when these were trading in the 260s, 270s, the 3s, we still had 30, if not $25 price targets. So the analysts could most certainly get this one right, or they could get it wrong, but I think the risk reward ratio isn't terrible. I would urge you not to go all in on a company like this. You know, when I'm playing my penny stocks, I'm playing with a relatively small percentage of my overall portfolio, especially the money that I'm actually risking. Even if I put 5, 6, 7,000 into a company, I'm never risking more than 20-ish% on any of my penny stock plays. So make sure your risk is controlled, my friends. But anyway, guys, that is my video on Acer Therapeutics. Hopefully some of you guys did enjoy. If you did, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and please, my friend, subscribe if you're new around here. Again, if you're interested in joining that private Discord group where you find out about things like these beforehand, hit that first link in the description, baby. A community of over 1,100 investors. You get all of my buy and sell alerts, access to over 50 private channels. It's beautiful. And if you want those free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description, my friends. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll see you for another video very soon. Peace.